So guys, I am now on my way to watch The Chosen Part 3. We made it to the cinema, ready to watch Part 3. I've got my Chosen sunglasses on yet again, and here we go. Guys, Part 3 was so good. Like, there's so much that I can pick out of it. I'm just trying to sort it all out through my head. So it started with communion. So I finally took communion in the cinema like I was planning to do from the beginning. So Jesus was with his disciples around the table and took the bread, told them it was his body, handed out the bread, and then he took the wine, told his disciples it was his blood, and passed the wine cup around. So as they were doing that, I got to take communion as they were doing it. So that was pretty cool. I enjoyed doing that. And then a little bit later on, we got a little glimpse of Barabbas, which I wasn't expecting. I thought that would probably be in season 6, or at least later on in the season finale, but it was fairly soon. It was probably like in the middle. So that was interesting to see. Another thing that was interesting to see was the tension building up for Pontius Pilate, with everything that's going on. And yeah, there's been some serious character development with him, in The Chosen, that is. And near the end, we got some backstories of some of the disciples, which is quite interesting to see. And then we got to the scene where Jesus was praying in the garden, and you could see and you could hear, you could feel how sad he was. Like, he was literally sweating. You could see the sweat. Like, no matter how dark the scene was, because this was at night, you could see his sweat. You could see his tears, and like, this was like a whole other level of acting. And as he was praying, he had some visions, and he had a vision of Abraham and Isaac. And that was the vision that struck me the hardest. So he had 3. The first one was Abraham and Isaac. And this was when Abraham was gathering up wood to get ready to sacrifice Isaac, as the Lord had told him to do. Obviously, it was a test. He didn't actually sacrifice Isaac in the end because God told him to stop. But before that, he was obviously preparing. So he got the wood, and then Isaac came and was telling his dad that he would carry the wood for him up the mountain. And I'm like, this is literally how God must have felt. Like, this is literally a representation of God the Father, God the Son. So Abraham representing God the Father, and then Isaac representing God the Son. And the fact that Isaac carried the wood up the mountain where he was going to be sacrificed just symbolizes Jesus carrying the cross, the same thing that's going to kill him, just as Isaac carried the same thing that would kill him, which was the wood. And it's like, the symbolism, like, the connections is crazy. Like, that's the one that hit me the hardest. The second vision was of Ezekiel and the Valley of the Dry Bones. And then the last vision was of Jesus's earthly father, Joseph. And I was just like, I wasn't expecting this. Like, it's a sweet scene, but it's also sad because you know what's going to happen. And then, oh my goodness. Of course, it ended with Judas's betrayal. And I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. Like, all of the disciples, their reactions to when they see Judas. And it's just like, it's crazy because Jesus said, oh, look, my betrayer's here. And then obviously there's this whole big reveal of it being Judas. And then the disciples are all in shock. And yet Jesus still called him friend. And he was like, just do what you came here to do. And I was just like, that's crazy. He betrayed you and you still calling him friend. Like, that just shows who Jesus is. And it always amazes me. Like, no matter how many times I see that scene or read that part of the Bible, it still amazes me. And yeah. So I'm just still trying to process it all right now. That's all I'm going to say. And on that note, I will see you guys on my next video.